Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
Wisdom,
Hi.
Women in Wisdom podcast. This is where today we have four of us, but we all met. We're all coaches from all around the world, and we're really good friends. And we are inspired to share the things that are most important to us and are going on in our lives, and how we navigate that through with you. Uh, so here we are. We have Camilla and Felice and Michaela, and I'm Bree. And today we were talking all weekend about decisions. And it's such an important topic for many reasons. It's something I've been thinking about for months, actually, uh, because for me, I find that once we make a decision, that's kind of what anchors us into the next vibration of what it is we want to create. So, from a reality creation standpoint, or anything that we've ever done in life, it always comes back to decisions. And we're deciding things all the time, whether or not we're doing it with awareness or without awareness. So, I just want to open up the floor to whoever would like to talk about maybe times in their life where they felt like they made decisions that really changed the course of their life, or times where, you know, maybe they would like to have more consciousness around the decisions that you're making.
Great
Very, very
topic.
good topic.
Yeah, it's
Who
a great.
first?
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you, Camilla. Yeah, it's a great topic, and I also thought about it the last time since the topic's coming up, and I got myself that several years before when I was younger, it was for me such a fearful thing, even with little decisions. So I think, oh, my word will change when I make this decision, when I not wear the red dress and I wear the blue trousers or something like that. So big decisions. So you make the meaning of what is a big or a small decision, and what does it make you for your life. And I think in Germany, I am a coach in Germany, and we are trained to do the right things even at school, where you don't have to fail. That's bad. So when you make mistakes, that's a bad thing. So somehow you are fearful about when you make decisions, maybe you make a mistake. So and what comes next, what comes up, what horrible things are coming up. You imagine this thing. And really to get this in the years right now, really, where I change my awareness, and I change my awareness about making decisions. It's more for me, I have this picture in my mind. So when you want to go on holiday and you want to make a journey, so you want to travel somehow, so you can go out of the street and go on where you want to go, but you have to decide, go I left or go I right. So when you want to go to a specific place, so maybe you want to go to the sea, or you're gonna want to go to the mountains, so you have to decide how do I want to go there somehow, or if I want to go there. And yeah, the little things, maybe I should brush my teeth today or not. So that are easy things, you don't think about it anymore. And I'm very, very exciting to hear what your other people are thinking about it.
Well, definitely making the decision is also a commitment, right? Especially when we do our own business. Making the decision is about deciding how much time and how much effort we want to put to something. We, if we want to do this or we don't want to do that. It was exactly how my decision looked like. It was like, I want to do this. It was the commitment to help women to be more brave and assertive. Mm, and it means that I will postpone maybe my other projects, and I focus on this, this and only this. And that's what happened.
I think you said a couple of really interesting things, Camilla. You said decision and commitment, because we can make a decision, right? But unless we commit to it, we haven't really decided.
True.
So when we're deciding something, we actually have to commit to it over and over and over again for it to actually materialize in our world and be something that, like, you have to follow through on that, because let's say, you decided today I'm not going to do that, and you're not committing to your decision. Well, you're not making that dream a reality. So it's something that, I think that's important what you said. Like, it's not just deciding something, because you can decide it, but unless you hold yourself to that, it doesn't really matter.
And exactly what you say, you decide again and again and again, because sometimes, yes, you're out of your track, and sometimes you are too busy, or well, it's not the case, but sometimes you're too tired, for instance, or sometimes something important happens in your life and you have to focus on that. And then, yes, other things are important, and some of them are so important that you cannot focus on on the goal, on your decision. But after a time, like, one of our friends now had the surgery of her father, and she was out of the track, but next week she will return and she will focus on her job again. Like me now, I have to do the diagnosis of my son, so I will focus on that for a moment, but then I'll be back on my track and focus on my issue again. Yeah.
For me, I've been thinking about the word decision and decision taking, and what came into my mind was responsibility, taking your own responsibility about anything that happens. Everything is a choice. So when I make a decision, I feel that I'm not doing a side role, then I am really the active person in whatever's happening around me, right? So if I don't make a decision, many times I feel stuck, I feel bad, I feel worried, I'm in my head, and the only way to get out of my head or to stop negative emotions is when I make the decision. Decision making can be really can be very powerful, something very positive, because then we have a rumor and we know exactly what we want to achieve, right? And if we don't make a decision, I think it also has, of course, it's got to do with fear, like Michaela was telling us, but it's also, I think, a form of self-sabotage, right? Where you are stopping yourself, and it's holding you back, and sometimes it's easier to remain in the comfort zone and don't do something totally different, maybe.
Yeah, and
Well, I
if you
think
make
that's a
this
decision
decision,
also. Go ahead.
go on, Bree.
Oh, I was just going to say, well, that not choosing or that not deciding is also a decision. There's
Yeah.
nothing that we're not deciding. So even if we tell ourselves, because I remember there were times where I didn't know. I was kind of in this limbo of I didn't know what to do, and I was just going to wait. Now I take the position of I'm going to choose what I want to do. What do I really want to do? But whatever it is that we're doing, we're deciding in that moment, whether we're deciding to be indecisive, it's still a decision.
Yeah, true. It's a choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Camilla, what were
choice.
you saying?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. We also make the decisions because we want something and because we don't want something. And when there is this factor of fear or something negative in these decisions, they are sometimes not very well serving us. And the best decisions are in the moment when you do something from the position of achieving, of light, of positivity. These decisions are the best serving us.
What's a good decision? What is a good decision? Isn't that a decision that's aligned with how you're feeling?
Yes, and towards the positive results of this decision. So I decide to sit in this cloth, right? Because I don't want to get frozen. Or I decide to sit with this cloth on because I want to feel comfortable.
Yeah, but let's just use the example of, this week Arlette with the heart surgery from her father, and she felt bad because she couldn't take certain actions around her business and do other stuff, and she was in between emotions. She wanted to be in the business, but she also wanted to be there for her father. I think that's a really nice example about decision taking, right? Because she did what felt right for her, taking care of her father, right? And making a choice in setting priorities.
Well, you're kind of leading into something that I want to ask you, each of you, is, a lot of times we think of decisions and we actually think of decisions, right? It's like a mental thing. But deciding is a state of being, right? It's like I'm in a current state and I'm deciding I want to be this way instead. So we really want to change the state of who we are, the state of vibration, the feeling state that we're having. So for me, whenever I make a decision, it's not really exclusively a thought. It's a whole, I feel it in my body. So I want to ask you, like, when you think of something, a big decision you've made recently or not recently, was it something you thought or was it a feeling you had? Because I find it's the feeling that's actually creating. So if it's just an idea, it's not really a decision. So I want to know if you've experienced the difference when you think about it for yourself, of what a decision feels like to you rather than what your idea of a decision actually is.
I love this question. I love this question. And well, there was a time when I was taking my decisions only and only out of my head because they had to be reasonable. No, but sometimes I was making these decisions and there was such a pain in my soul, in my heart, or regret, feeling of regret because I have to make this decision because I have to. And well, the life was going on and I was feeling this regret in my heart. And within the time, and especially last time when I'm with you guys, I learned braveness to take my decisions from my heart, which is savory now. And I have a very nice example. On Friday, I was doing my stuff and I had scheduled also phone calls to the clients. Friday is not the very best time, but why not? Let's try. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I realized I missed it. I missed the chance because on Friday at 3 in summer or beautiful spring, like right now, everybody is doing the barbecue, not working, right? So it makes no sense to call them. And I decided to leave it. And after that, I was feeling regret and I was, oh no, I'm not going to do that to myself anymore. I want to feel well. I want to do what I committed to, I decided to do. And yesterday and today I'm calling my clients. Of course it's not so comfortable and sometimes they can't speak with me right now, but I feel so good. I'm so happy because it's aligned to the decision I made and it really makes me happy. I want to be happy and it makes me happy. And yeah, this is the decision. Of course it's a very rational decision because it brings clients, but on the other side it's aligned to what I really feel and want inside.
I love that. I love that. I was listening to something this weekend. I've been listening to someone about speaking about decisions. I've just been, you know, it's been interesting because as I'm a guide and you're coaches and we're all guiding people to make the most empowering decisions for themselves, right? So, um, how do we do that? How do we do that? How do we get someone to connect with the decision that's right for them?
I think it's something that always comes back in our podcast, always. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be the same phrase, the same message again, but I still have to say it. Connect with your heart. You have to feel it. Whatever you do, you have to feel it. And because if whatever you decide is not in balance, you will feel terrible and you're gonna regret it. So I think it's important, if you want inner peace and if you want to be loyal to yourself, I think you have to make a decision following your heart. How can you, this is also something, I think this is a problem many people face, is when the mind is speaking a different language than the heart, you know, and then you're fighting yourself all the time, right? And if you do that, you create anxiety, you create stress, you can even create diseases, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Michaela, I feel like you have something here to share because when we're talking about decision making and there's a lot of emotion that comes up around it, but we like from your perspective of guiding people to a space of receptivity and openness and relaxation, what's like a feeling you could guide people to make them feel like, you know, yes, this is the right decision for me?
Yeah, there are two things that coming up to me. That is the one thing also as a mother, I decide things also with connecting with my feeling and not what anybody else is telling me outside or what I read in a book about children. And that I decide that what's feeling good for me, for them. And that's what I'm also teaching my clients, really deeply connect with what they want, with their desire, and how does it feel, and train them to get somehow the courage also, and to believe in themselves and to get the trust in themselves, what they are doing, and let them lead through the feelings. And so I love to work with visualizations in my relaxation, in my relaxations leadings. So the people go in a yeah, they go in the relaxation deeply connected with their feelings and their visualization, and they see and they feel, how does it feel, what I really want, and somehow get the belief and the trust that they get there. And yeah, that's where I find yeah, then it happened. And I think the most I thought about this holiday thing. If you decide to go on a holiday, you know there will come something really nice, and you got this plane and you go to the airport and you are exciting and you love this. And I really love to somehow connect into this decision making, this you go on a journey, and how does it feel to go on this journey of your self employment, and yeah, what for a person you will be when you go through this journey, and you get aware about all these things, and feeling, yeah, feeling more great and more yeah, more trusting also in yourself. And that's amazing. And to get out of this somehow fear, maybe the fear gets smaller, it doesn't go away maybe, but to get the fear somehow, how seeing also as a friend who wants to take care of you or to protect you for something, but really to be courage and say to your fear, everything will be okay, we get this, and we go together, and we will reach the point we want to go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's what I was listening to you, and it's kind of tying in what everyone is saying. It's like I was thinking about, so I every time I made a big decision, I'll give you, I used to smoke cigarettes years ago. It's been like, this year will be like 22 years since I quit smoking. But in that moment, I knew it wasn't who I wanted to be. I didn't want to be a smoker anymore. And every time I've made like a big decision in my life, the basic question is, who do I want to be? I don't want to be this person. Who do I want to be? And then I made a decision from the person who I wanted to be, just like you were talking about earlier, Camilla, right? About committing to that decision. And it was aligned with my heart, and it was a very empowering choice. And I think it's um, important to consider that when we're making decisions from who we want to be, not the fear aspect of who we are, like you were just talking about, Michaela, because that person, uh, isn't committed to the decision. That person, that aspect of yourself is committed to staying safe, which isn't a terrible thing, but we have to make decisions from who we want to be, not who we believe ourselves to be, or who we've told ourselves to be, or how we perceive others see us. So I think
Who we want to be and how this decision is going to serve us. What am I going to get out of it to be closer to my goal?
yeah.
I think decision taking is a beautiful way to get rid of anxiety and negative emotions. I think it's one of the most powerful ways, and it's easy. It doesn't have to be difficult, take tiny little steps. It can make a massive impact on your own happiness.
I like that. Like, what little decisions are we making every day that we are successful in, right? Because I was thinking of also, we make a big decision, but then we might not stick to it. So, what advice or how do you stay committed to your decision when you make a big one for yourself? What tools do you have in place?
I always say make little decisions. You don't have to, when you change something, you don't have to change everything at one time. So one thing at a time, and make it KISS. Keep it simple. KISS. I like KISS. And remind yourself when you are in doubt and you maybe you lack commitment. Remind yourself of your why. If you make a decision, remind yourself, why did you make that decision?
I got my way. I learned that very, very many years ago, and I'm very happy that it happened so early. But I look at my life from the position of the person that is going to die in a moment. I know it's it's a big deal, but I'm old. I have my head that I'm old. I lived my life, and I look at my life from the position of the person that is ending life. And I look at that and I say to myself, all right, I couldn't do that better. It's everything I could do, and I'm really proud of it.
Wow.
So reverse engineering again. And if I see what I've done in my life from that position as satisfying, it's okay. If I see, I lost my time, I wasted my time, the only precious thing that we have, then I say, all right, I have to improve it. But there is one more thing I wanted to say. Sometimes we really don't know what to do, what to decide. And then I have one key. It's one simple key. If you don't know and you have no source of knowledge what decision to take, try. Just try.
That's nice.
If it's okay, it's great. If it's not okay, it's another great, because then you already know that it's not the path for you.
Excellent.
Love that. Michaela?
Yeah, for me, what I'm finding out in the last days is very interesting. Like you said, Brie, I make a decision in my head on connecting with the feeling of this decision, and that moves me so forward. It is amazing. So yeah, I think so when I have my clients and they somehow get out of track. So somehow when they work with me, they get an recording, and they can listen to the recording and connect again with their goal. Or I can tell them, reconnect with your goal, what you have, what you desire is, and move on. And even when you fall out of track, then, like Felice said, it's a great question. Ask, why do you want it? What your desire is? It why do you want to do this? For whom do you want to do this? Yeah. And that are amazing questions. And really don't beat yourself up for going out of track. That's a very important thing. Somehow we train to beat ourselves up when we do wrong things, or get out of track, or really want to do nothing one day or so. And really to look and say, it's okay, right now, today I do nothing, and tomorrow I get back off track. Maybe in the evening I have the fun to reconnect and do a little thing or so. It's also about maybe overwhelming or so, and like you all said, and it's amazing how connected our tools are somehow. Yeah. Because I think they're really helping persons in every state, and how what they need to get there where they want to go. And yeah, that's amazing stuff, because for everybody there's a coach.
Love that. Yeah, I know it all tied together, remember your why, uh, try something, try anything. What's the feeling of it that you want? Because you're going to make decisions based on that feeling. And for me, one of the things I found most powerful as we say goodbye for this journey is to be accountable. Find ways that you could be accountable. For me, it's friends, and I always have things in place where I can be accountable for myself and take responsibility, like you were saying. So thank you everyone for joining us again this week, where we get to talk about who we want to be and commit to that highest version of ourselves. And if you find anything that we're sharing useful, like, share, subscribe. We're all here offering our hearts for the betterment of the world. We're all here to raise the vibration together, and we shine more brightly when we come together this way. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
See
Bye bye.
you.
Next time.